please welcome Mr. Red Wemette.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me. Hello, folks. It is October 24th, 2022. And it's another Reds, not bedtime story, but Mondays with Red. Thank you, Anthony, for a wonderful introduction. I love it. It's going to be there every Monday. And I want to do some shout outs here. You're all saying hi to each other. That's great. Let's see. It's 73 in Knoxville. Okay. And Zoe, West Michigan. It's got to be cold up there. I got a feeling it is. All to Customs. 60 degrees and cloudy there. Okay. Julie says, thank you, Julie. Hit the like button on your way in. Thank you, Julie. Jim Magnifici, how you doing, buddy? Hope everything's well with you. Jim Jager. It is. Everything's well. Thank you. And as you know, it's 82 degrees here by me. How you doing, Holman Sanders? What's it like in Pompano Beach, Florida? You don't have a name, so I can't call you out by name. Pompano Utility Project. Dave Muscala, hi from the South Side. How you doing, Dave? Hope everything's well by everybody. Hope you're all healthy and doing well. Catherine, Dutch is doing fine. She's munching while I'm talking to you. She's eating. Thank you, Don. Thank you. Don Cheech. What was wrong with Jim? Don't know. Rhonda Moretti. Rhonda, I caught your review on my book. Thank you so much. I got 4 more reviews over this past week. And thank all of you folks for going into Amazon and writing a review. I really appreciate it. The book itself, there's a link for it below the description here. So if you want to get it there, autographed, you can, or you can get it from Amazon. Either one. You can still write a review on Amazon, and it's the same price from me. Only it's autographed from me. It's not autographed from them. Or maybe you want to watch it on Kindle. I don't know. It's all up to you guys. We're taking bets on the Bears already. Sean. Anthony, how you doing, buddy? Ryan is giving me Ryan Brown's giving me endorsement. Ryan, you wrote a nice review too. Thank you. Thank you very much. Tommy Bridges, how you doing, buddy? Rhonda says, I'm welcome. Very welcome. Thank you, Rhonda. I assume she means for writing the review. Frederick. Hello, Red. Love your stories. I catch them on replay if I miss you on Adam's live streams. Thank you. Thank you very much, Frederick. And hello to you, Laria. Laria, 6214. Gotcha, buddy. Okay. Well, today's topic is, I know we go off topic sometimes, but today's topic is John Drummond. I talk to John. I call him at home. I try to get to him at least once a week. And sometimes he's not there. But going back into his history, if you notice on the thumbnail for this picture, or for this broadcast, it shows a picture of him and Joey Lombardo. And they're smiling at each other. And that's the way John was. That's how John got all the interviews he got. He interviewed Lefty Rosenthal. He interviewed a lot of people, a lot of outfit people. And they always came to him. He wasn't like Chuck Gowdy. He wasn't like, I remember a scene, a very famous scene. It's on YouTube, I believe, where I forget the guy's name. Anyway, he goes up to him and he says, ABC, get out of here. Get out of here. Go someplace else. John never had that problem. He was doing real good. Very good. And I think throughout his career, it was the way he treated people. He was humble. He never went up to somebody aggressively. And he got terrific interviews. In the very beginning, not the very beginning, but in the middle, in the 70s, I used to give him tips. And John's the one that encouraged me to write a book. John kept saying, Red, you got to write a book. Red, you got to write a book. He wrote several books. And he said, you got to write a book, man. And so he said, history has to know. And that was way, way back in 2015. Long time ago. Long time ago. He was a class act. Definitely a class act. Yeah, that was Sean Pender. That was Sally D. Sally D. Laurentis. You're right. And Frank Ferrero, you're right too. He called respect, and everyone had not everyone had to follow. He was something else. He really was. Great man. And a great man still today. But his body's giving out and his mind's not. So it makes it rough on him. Very rough on him. Let's see. Steve S. John Drummond is a Chicago legend. Yes, he is. And you know something? He doesn't realize it. When I talk to him, it's just, he's casual, very casual. He doesn't realize that he's as big as he is. He really doesn't. It's well liked and it's well loved. Sometimes I say that to him and he says, really? Really? But, you know, there's one interview that he did that never got aired. And that was an interview with Tony Accardo. It never got aired because the station wouldn't air it. It wasn't because he didn't do it. It's because the station wouldn't air it. But there's others that he did. And I laughed at the one where Joey Yup was running along the sidewalk and got in a fight with his cameraman. And he scored one for the cameraman because he took the knockdown. But he was a good man. Yes, that's the one I'm talking about, Joey Yup. Yes, that's the exact one I'm talking about. I get and okay, I'm just going to say 1965. Maybe needs to be on the show more often. I bet he might enjoy it. I've asked him to several times. I really did. I've asked him several times. Hello, Primo. Okay, folks. Well, the gang's all here, and that's a good thing. How you doing, Primo? Dave and Wolfie, how you doing, folks? Dave and Wolfie. You know, we were talking about it, and several people and I were talking about it. And quite recently, one of the things I noticed is that when I first started this, doing bedtime stories or whatever, it was in 2016, and we didn't have a lot of people doing it then. There were some major people like Vlad or something like that, but I was doing like 3-minute shorts, nothing like these lives. And now all of a sudden I look out there on YouTube and there's like, I don't know, all kinds of people. Invest in Yourself. Hollywood Wade's doing one, Chip. Street Story's doing one. He's trying to get himself up there. And Anthony, you put so much work into it, and I don't think it gets around enough for people to appreciate it. I tried to look at every one you do, but Anthony's got some good stories to tell. And I don't know, maybe I can talk Anthony into coming on my show. That would be nice. So, as I'm going through this little bit here, I'm looking at things and saying, our genre, whatever, is organized crime outfit, Chicago outfit. And I see this one guy. I'm not going to mention his name. He actually told me that in a comment on a video, because I criticized him, that he was going to tell the 10 biggest lies I ever said and expose me for being a fraud. And basically, I don't like the guy. I really don't. But I don't like anybody like him either. I always had a thing that said, in my mind, that said, it's one thing to be part of the news. It's part, to be involved, to actually do things. And it's another thing just to sit in a courtroom all day long when you're a retired city employee or county employee or something like that, and just sit there and watch trials day in and day out or whenever they come up, because you got nothing better to do. And a bunch of old men sitting around kibitzing. And the truth of the matter is, they didn't do anything, but yet they're on YouTube now, and they're writing stories, or they're telling stories and showing pictures that they picked up and talking about things they're not accurate about. Some things they are, some things they aren't, but they want to make money. They want to make some money on YouTube. Anyway, so much for that. Jim Magnifici. Ryko was a good investigative reporter, just like John Drummond. I agree with you 1,000%. Yes, MJP. They got rid of it. I actually started that MGP. Gunnar and I had a falling out, and I made a comment about his books, and I said, why do you write about fiction? And he said, well, fiction sells. He said, nobody wants to watch this live crap. And then I started asking questions, and he didn't like the questions I asked. He really didn't like them at all. I realized that he was a drug dealer as a teenager, always in drugs, always had problems. 16, 17 years old, he was dealing drugs. He was never part of the Detroit mob, our thing, but that was his brand. And he sold it until somebody took a good shot at him. I believe it was Shorts. Took a good shot at him and exposing Gunner. And they did. They exposed Gunner. Another one that I had a beef was Chucky Maselli. And turns out he's in jail right now. I don't think he's ever coming out. Poor Chucky. He couldn't get to, he wanted to reopen Family Secrets and redo the wheel. And it just didn't work out. But he had some dirty laundry. And when they cleaned his dirty laundry, he wound up locked up. To answer your question here, no, he's banned from YouTube for life. He can never come on again. MPJ, you're from Detroit. No. I love it, guy. I love it. Yes, for life. For life. I'll tell you what he's banned for. He threatened people, physical harm and danger, and terrorized people. And it was too many times, too many complaints, and that was it. Miss Can't Be Right. You're right about Chucky. I feel sorry for Chucky too, though. I mean, I really do. I feel sorry for all these people. They're a legend in their own mind. Now, I'm not trying to be a legend. I'm just me, okay? And I tell it like it is. If I don't know the answer to something, I'll say I don't know. I really don't know. You've heard me say that often. I'll say it again right here. The guy running Detroit right now is from Chicago. I have no idea, Joey Yupa. I have no idea at all. If that's your statement, that's your statement. Yes, Julianne, Gunner got whacked onto YouTube. That's how it happened. But he actually hurt himself. You can't go around threatening people to go to their house, hunt them down, beat them up, kill them, and do all kinds of things on YouTube. You just can't do that. It doesn't work. Yes, he was a steroid spaz. He is. He hasn't changed. Do you think that guy's going to change at his age? The only thing that's changing is he's trying to get on other people's shows because he can't go on anymore. And all the apologies aren't going to, it's spilled milk. You can't put it back in the container. It's all over. Detroit is a special place. It really is. It's very unique. Chicago's become a lot of places. It's becoming like Detroit was back in the 50s. It's really going downhill. It's bad. Don Cheech, Arpatak. Don't worry about the spelling. I know who it is. From sometimes. He was pretty good. He was very good. He wrote about me several times, and he was always good. JW, who did Gunner threaten? A lot of people. A lot of people. Not just one or two, but a lot of people. I would say he has issues. It was brought out in one of the other interviews or one of the other shows that his mother was mentally retarded and she had problems. She was in a mental institution. He grew up with his grandparents, a very dysfunctional life. He started dealing drugs when he was 16 years old and taking drugs and steroids and other things. They're drugs too. I don't think, Chicago Joe, I don't think you could do the threats on Facebook either. That was my opinion. It was my opinion. The truth. There he is, Red Wemette. We know we haven't, but well, you met me on virtual reality on YouTube. Thank you, The Truth. Absolutely no ties to the mob. Absolutely none. Stacks, how you doing, buddy? Chatting with Stacks. I try to watch everything he puts out. I think he's got an up-and-coming show here. I don't know what happened to that beautiful blonde gal you had, but boy, it made your ratings go up, guy. Bill Stacks. Great show. He tries. He tries very hard. I don't know about your rat fetish, though. You put up that rat a lot. I'm not sensitive about it anymore. I used to be. A lot of people used to call me a rat. And that only told me who they were. They were convicts. They were bums. There were people that are out doing things that I didn't want to do. Don Cheech. Yes. Stacks is a great guy. Bill's chatting with Stacks. Thank you. She's been busy. Yeah, well, I can see why. You like the background music. I like it too. I got one complaint in a comment. That's all. So anyway, we're back to interviews and John Drummond. John's a phenomenal man. He's not what he was, but I have memories, and I'm sure he does too. Chatting with Stacks. I was a bum. Now I'm turning my life around. You turned your life around. And I love your stories about the Mississippi River and the boat and everything else. Everything on your show, I watch. I don't think you get enough exposure, Stacks. I really don't. Julie, you might like it. I do. There isn't anything he puts on I don't watch. Well, you're making a speculation. Here we go, Joey Yupa. Anthony, Chicago Tony, is running the Detroit Mafia from Elmwood Park, I think. Okay. Think a lot. We know you do, Stacks. Guy's got a heart. Stacks wants to do an interview with me. Okay. We'll work that out, buddy. Maybe I'll talk to you after the show. Miss can't be wrong. Red's a sweet guy. You know, that's one of my favorite stories, too. It wasn't with the mob, Sean Pender, but he said something like a Folsom stamp steamer. They were pushing him, and he said, "You guys are going to have to take it back." That's the first time I ever heard him talk rough, was at that Bears game. It really was. Good clip. Very good clip. Thank you, Julian. Thank you. Bears and Bulls. Howdy, Red. It's been a while. Good to see you still doing good. Good to see you here, guy. Good to see everybody here. Just out of curiosity, because on my vlog on Wednesdays, always I put in the description down below the video, I put the link to my book. And we're doing the Wheel of the Deal, where I spin the wheel. And during that Wheel of the Deal, it was kind of interesting that some people would land on my book and they wouldn't want it. They already had it. I got Red's book. And so I'm just curious, out of all the people that watch me here, everybody that's here today, How many people, just press 1 if you have, how many people have read my book? Press 1 if you have. Stacks, hit that like button. Stacks, you're a great guy. You really are. You're trying real hard. Dave, okay, Dave read my book, or ordered my book and read my book. Oh, Sean Pender, Michael Graham, Larry. Zoe, you wrote a review for me. Thank you. Thank you very much. Frank Ferrero, Bulls and Bears, Michael Graham, Sean Pender. You got all you guys. Primo, Miss Can't Be Wrong, Dave and Wolfie. Smooth operator. Okay, gotcha. When it's all together like that, it's different. There is a lot of you. Stacks, if you order a book and I autograph it and send it out to you, it's on the link below. But if you order a book and I send it out to you, same price as Amazon. If you're an Amazon customer, you can write a review. So please write a review. I really appreciate it if you do. I'm trying to get a movie off the ground here. I had one at one time, but COVID killed the movie. Killed a lot of my friends too, and other people. Primo says, it's a good story, Stacks. Bulls and Bears. Is it safe to say John Drummond was respected more than Gowdy by the mob guys? Yes. Yes, Bulls and Bears, it was. That's a very accurate statement. It's a very accurate statement. Thank you, Stacks. I think you'll like it. It's a pretty easy read, but it gives you a lot of background. This can't be wrong. Yes, if you're not familiar with the Chicago outfit, it will make you familiar with it. I give a first-hand accounting. Speaking of accounting, how many people do we have in the room right now? I'm curious. I've written another book. I haven't released it yet. I've had problems with the cover. I've had problems with everything. 67 people in the room. Wow. It's a slow Monday. That's okay. Can I get 67 likes? I'm asking for too much. I asked for half of the people to like it at one time. And believe it or not, I got over half. So I was really surprised. Michael Graham. Malone was respected more than as a mob reporter than John Drummond. You're right. He was a legend. I mean, he could walk up to Joey Lombardo. He could walk up to anybody on the street and just talk to them. He smiled at them. He went up humble. He didn't go up there aggressive and say, hey, can you, tell me why you just got out of prison or something like that? He didn't do that. Bulls and Bears. Thank you, buddy. Give Red a like. But that's what it was all about. And John covered a lot of other stories too. Tony Yars. Yours? Excuse me, Yars. Y-A-R-O-U-S. Tony. Thank you, Miss Can't Be Wrong. I would too. And it's not for the money. I'm not doing it for the money. I'm doing it because, I don't know. I used to hear Frank Collada say all the time, I may not be around here long. I don't know how long I'm going to be around. Maybe 10 years, 20 years, maybe not. Who knows? Maybe I'll get hit by a truck. I don't know. My health is good. Right now I have a little scratchy throat, but that's just a cold. It'll go away. That's from the weather going up and down, up and down. It's just getting crazy that way. Don Cheech, you're right. John Drummond didn't put a spin on the story. He was there for the facts. He was very good. Jeff Stone, you were just going to order it. Okay, Jeff. I'll autograph it to you, to Jeff. Okay, buddy? In 1965, my last meeting with Mary L. Humphreys and Milwaukee Phil, Felix Ellery, is called Anti-Cell's House. And Humphrey says, Felix, the kid is going to raise us up from the dead. That's an interesting story because Adam asked me who the man was that was killed for dating or for being with Milwaukee Phil's mistress when he was in prison. And I didn't have the answer. I forgot the name. I'm not that big on names sometimes. But somebody did ask that. Bulls and Bears. That picture of Joe Lombardo outside La Scola, maybe Don Cheech. No, it's in front of you. Look at the picture on the thumbnail, and you'll find out it's in front of the courthouse. It's actually in front of the courthouse, I believe. I might be mistaken, but I think that's where it's at. How you doing, Kraut? Everybody wonders why I call you Kraut. And don't be sorry you're late. You're here. So I wasn't mistaken. It is in front of the courthouse. I thought so. Bill Davis said we all did. John was great. He was really great. I liked him. I still do. He was my kind of man. Don Cheech, you must have gone and looked right outside the courthouse. I had to go digging for that one. But I thought it would get your imagination up. And maybe you'd have some good questions. And maybe I could shed some light that maybe you didn't know about John. John is a very reserved person. The last 5 interviews that he did in camera, like we are now, was in his home. He did not go down to the studio. John's had, just like everybody else that lives to be 92, he's had a lot of difficulties. His wife passed away. His wife was a wonderful person. I used to call her, and he wasn't home. If he wasn't home, his wife would answer the phone, and we would talk for hours. Hours we would talk. She liked me a lot. She'd ask me all kinds of questions, and I'd listen to her problems. She had terminal cancer, and she was going to the Kellogg Cancer Research Unit across in Evanston there. And it was just the way it was. And then John would come in, and he'd say, "Who are you talking to?" And she'd say, "Red." And he'd say, "That's for me. Give me the phone." What are you talking to him for? It was kind of funny. But I did talk to several people in his family. Okay, Kraut. John Drummond is the kind of storyteller I could never get tired of listening to. I couldn't either. He can go on and on and on. He runs from one story. His mind is it switched tracks. He can go from one story to another story and another story. He can go forever. He was very good. Bulls and Bears. Magnifici told a story about with Jackie Cerrone to O'Hare a week, and Costello hit to meet with Giancarlo, New York bosses. I don't know anything about that guy. Nothing. I know nothing about that. But that's really what it was all about, folks. Joey, Chicago. I think that's what it's short for, Chicago. How you doing, buddy? How you doing, Joey? Welcome. I haven't seen you here before. If you'd like to, hit that subscribe and like. Bulls and Bears. Okay. It was in focus on another show. Hi, Red. Did you ever have an encounter with Walter Jacobson? What do I think of him? Well, now that you asked, you're going to get it. I've relayed this story several times. Walter Jacobson was very arrogant and difficult, very, very difficult. But the guys in the 18th district, the police officers that I knew that worked in 18, I got along with them very well. And they had some problems with him. Two-man cars in those days. And two guys pulled him over and for a traffic violation. And they asked him for his driver's license and he didn't have it. And in those days, things were different. They just didn't let you go by without a license. And he said, "Do you know who I am? I'm Walter Jacobson." And he got real cocky with him. Because of that, they took him into the police station and fingerprinted him to identify him and gave him a ticket. And because of that, what he did, Walter Jacobson, is he went back to the station the next day and he went on the show and said, "You would think that Chicago police have a lot more to do." And he told his whole story on the air. Well, this really upset the police officers very, 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 very much. And they were both friends of mine. And other police officers said. So they did some rotten things after that. They knew where he lived. He wasn't far from McClure Court, where CBS was. So they'd go and knock out a tail light and pull him over for a tail light that was broke or something like that, something simple. And they made life hell for him. But he made life hell for them. He'd go on the air. I mean, people got bounced around, moved around just because of him. So Bobby Signoretti and another guy were talking to me. I won't mention his name. But what happened was Bobby and one of his co-workers, 18th District. Bobby was 1822. That was his car. And that was for my sector. And Bobby came to me and he said, "I wish we could get something on this guy. He's got a mistress out in Hoffman Estates." And I said, "Really?" And I had my own darkroom. I made all my own pictures. I did it for the FBI. I had my own darkroom. But I also had some very high speed recording film. It was called ASA 24, ASA 36. It worked good at night. I mean, you get real good shots. So I get the address of the place. I go out there and I do something that's very bad. I actually saw a crack in the window and took some compromising photos of Walter Jacobson with this other woman. And I gave the pictures to the policeman I was talking about. Instead of them giving him to his wife, They went into his condo in his building, his condominium building, and they slid pictures under everybody else's doorstep. Photographs. Some of these were nude. So his wife found out from the neighbors, and then he got a divorce. His life just went crazy after that. I mean, it went downhill. After he got the divorce, he left CBS and he went to WFLD, which was Fox News. And that's the story of Walter Jacobson. That's a whole story in itself. Was it wrong? Yeah, it was wrong. I look back, there's a lot of wrong things I did. Do I regret it? No. He was an arrogant, arrogant person. I just didn't like him. I didn't like what he did to my friends either. A lot of people ask me, how can you have friends that are police officers and friends that are muscle outfit guys? It was easy for me. It might be easy, not so easy for other guys, but for me, it was easy. Living. What a story. You're a sly guy. Yeah. It took all the violence out of it. I'll tell you, it really did. Yes, it was payback. Scott H. It is hilarious. Now, it wasn't hilarious for him. I'll tell you, it cost him a lot. It really did. Kraut, he was a mutt. He was an arrogant, arrogant mutt with an ethnic background. Not a nice guy. Not a nice guy at all. Walter Jacobson is just doing and hearing aid commercials in the Chicago radio. Sean, is that true? I wondered if he's still alive. I really did. Bulls and Bears, I'm sure that there's a lot of people who don't know this story. All the people in the 18th district at that time, all the police officers knew it because they were all laughing. Everybody laughed. Everybody thought Bobby had a set of balls, man, for doing that. And the word got out to a couple people that I had actually taken the photos, which I could have gotten in trouble for. I think the FBI would have had a fit, but I did it anyway. I was a bad boy. That's a good question. Is Walter Jacobson still living? I don't know. Living good in California. I think that is. Living good in California. I remember thinking Walter Jacobson was handsome when I was a teen in the 70s. Well, he was what he was. You know, I do not know if he still has anybody in the media, his daughter or anybody else. Scott, I think you're correct. I think you're correct. You like my comment, Bulls and Bears? I was a bad boy. I think about Abbott and Costello when I hear that. I was a bad boy. Julianne, you're right. It may come back and hit you in the face. I never heard that, but I can tell you he lives in Wemette. He lives in a big old house in Wemette. He really does. Okay, and he's alive. Living good in California. Thank you. I hope I'm saying that correctly. Some of that's abbreviated. Yeah, he's only 85. John's 92. John Drummond. JW. Red, why did you take out Jacobson and his arrogance? Why did I take out? I don't understand the question, JR or JW. Yes, Michael Graham. They were both street guys, and I was liked by both. I really was. Ex-cop, how you doing, buddy? Hope you're having a good day today. The Empire Carpet Guy lived on Lake Avenue in Wemette, passed away a few years ago. Well, I'm sure that I'll talk to John about it when I talk to him tomorrow, maybe. In Wemette, passed away a few years ago. I'll be darned. I learn a lot from you guys. I'm on here to try and help you along, and you're helping me along. Hoban Sanders. Red, you bumped heads with mobsters and the media. Yeah, I did. But I got along with a lot of mobsters and a lot of media too. A lot of media were very nice to me. I remember one time I was coming out of a courtroom, and there was a lot of media there. I mean, a lot of media. I wasn't under arrest. I was there for an employee of mine, but they were trying to get pictures of people. And a friend of mine came over to me, attorney, and he said, button up your collar, put your tie straight, and just look like a businessman and walk out. He said, they won't take a picture. He said, what they want is somebody grabbing the camera or giving an ugly face or something like that. Jerry Coos. How about politicians? I knew a lot of them. My uncle was a judge, so I knew a lot of politicians. Any stories about Bill Curtis? None personally. When he bought his cattle ranch, I was very happy for him. Bill's a special kind of man, real special. He really was. Well, I didn't want to talk about this, JW, but yes, he did. Not a lot, but he did pop in. Scott H., you're exactly right. P-Dog, how you doing? I haven't seen you here before. Welcome. Hit that like button, please, if you like it, and subscribe. Anthony from Street Stories. I want to say Jacobson's daughter was named Wendy. Maybe. I do not know. You know better than I do. You talk about me having all the knowledge. You have a lot, man. Anthony's really good. You're right. One of these shots. If you're covering your face up or trying to hide, that's what they want to see. Thank you, P-Dog. Thank you. Thank you very much. I want to thank all of you. I want to thank every one of you for stopping by and seeing me today and just being, just having time, spending time with me. And I'll probably be around Wednesday on my vlog. And Julie, I want to thank you for buying my cup. I still haven't got my cup in the mail yet. I saw pictures of it on your page and Facebook, though. And thank you so much. I'm going to try and do something else. Let's see what we have. Count Olaf. Do you remember Z Frank? Yes, I do. Zali. Yes. Zali, he had quite a few car dealers. Thank you, Pompano. Thank you so much. Dave, did I find mobsters to be a better class than politicians? No, I did not. They weren't polished. Most of the politicians I ran across they were educated. Most of the mobsters they were lucky if they made it through high school. They may have had street smarts, but when it came to other things, they were always getting in trouble. What mobster do you know that did not go to jail, go to prison, get indicted, cheat on his taxes and have to go to prison for that, get audited? Even Tony Accardo got audited 8-9 times for his income tax. He just never went to prison, that's all. He had to pay some fines. Good night, Anthony. God bless you. God bless you, buddy. You met Walter Jacobson, RSA, in Buffalo, Michigan at El Rancho Grande restaurant. He had different superiority, attitude of superiority. Excuse me. And I let him know you were Sam Giangana's son. Thanks, Red. God bless you. God bless you too, buddy. Thank you for sharing the story. I really enjoy it. Hit that like button, huh? I'll bet you didn't read my book. Buddy. Might give you some insight to me and the people I knew. Thank you, Sean. Anthony did a great job of filling in for me. He really did. Anthony's a great guy. Holman Sanders. Red's payoffs back then were epic book. And then I would imagine. Thank you, Holman. Thank you, Holman. Thank you very much. No way. What are you looking for? Some expose? No way. That's their personal business. Okay, guys. It's time to say goodbye. I thank you all for stopping by. And like I said, the link for the book is down there. The link for the cup is down there. My cup hasn't come here. I'd show you, but it says I'm thankful on it. And on the back, it says something about being with me on the show. Thank you so much, folks. And God bless you. Have a great day. Enjoy your evening. Have a good dinner. And it's Red out. God bless.